Every nigga is a star. Who will remind that you admire? Every nigga is a star. 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 Every nigga is a star.
Why don't you love me? Tell me, baby, why don't you love me when I make me so damn easy to love? And why don't you need me? Tell me, baby, why don't you need me when I make me so damn easy to need? I got beauty, I got class, I got style, and I got ass. You don't even care to care. I even put money in the bank account. Don't have to ask no one to help me out. You don't even notice that. I got beauty. I got heart. Keep my head in them books. I'm sharp. But you don't care to know I'm smart. I got moves in your bedroom. Keep you happy with the nasty things I do. But you don't seem to be in tune. Why don't you love me? Ashe.
Ashe.
Welcome back to another episode of Nobody Asked Me But. Welcome back. We out here cooking.
Yes.
Feeling like we got a little cute groove happening. So this might be like, we're going to keep it this way. See how this goes for a little bit. I'm your host, DeSandies. And we have here to my left the ever faithful Big Dawg Tash.
Here we go.
Welcome. So we have a great show planned for you guys today. And we're going to get right started with our Jet Beauties of the Week.
Boom, dynamite. Boom, boom, dynamite. Our team is boom, dynamite. Boom, boom, dynamite. Our team is tick, 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 tick. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some booty in it. Boom.
All right, so today we have a short Jet Beauty of the Week, but it goes out to one of my biggest influences right now. Influences. That means I look up to them, right? Okay,
yes.
Good. I want to make sure of that.
Correct.
Thank you. Sometimes, as those of you listen, my words get jumbled, and that's all right. You listen anyway, and I'm thankful. So one of my biggest influences, because first of all, have we seen her? She's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Mm-hmm. She's also extremely smart, extremely funny. Extremely talented. And she has literally built her career from the bottom up. And it literally started because she just did it and did nothing. And it was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to start it. And did it her own way. And she's up there with Beyonce as far as I'm concerned. Like, I have three... I'm thinking back to myself, I have three, like, big-time celebrity, like, I love them for different reasons. It's because I see a lot of myself, a lot of what I want to be in them. And, like, Beyonce, of course, is, like, performer extraordinaire and really smart businesswoman. And, you know, we talked about how much I love Diane Carroll and how, you know, her acting will stay with me forever because it was just always so truthful, always so... You know, it gave you a little something extra. It just was always so perfect for me. And among others in the acting realm. But if we're talking about acting and then the business side of things, Issa Rae
yes, ma'am.
Is out here coming for everyone's neck, coming for everyone's edges. Everyone is snatch balled. Every time she touches or is attached to something, it's gold.
It's platinum.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, first of all, we fell in love with her from Awkward Black Girl, which if you have not...
my favorite.
Oh, my God. If you have... My favorite, of course, is the character that... He talks with me. You know I do that to people.
I would sit at work, and I would be fired for this now if they knew and I was still working there. I would spend... Like, every time a new episode came out, when I first discovered it, I just sat there and I watched. And I was, who couldn't identify?
So TS puts me onto all of the new things. And so this was one of the new things at the time that she put me onto. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you we did not miss an episode. And they were like, if you want more Issa Rae, you know, you have to donate because it costs money to make these things, which I made a price list for something that I'm going to want to film. And it absolutely costs to do anything. And I feel like either we asked mommy to donate or something. That was still back when we were like not quite on our feet just yet. Yeah. And it just was, every episode was always like, I'm not just talking like chuckles. I'm talking like I'm in tears.
You don't know how hard it is to sit in an office full of people in an open cubicle and just
my God,
bust out laughing.
Every time.
Because it is so relatable.
One of my favorite episodes was when they're sitting around the conference room, and I think they are trying to figure out, I think, either who's going to be the new HR or who's going to, they have a new HR manager, and I think they're trying to, welcome him in. And they start singing, and someone's like, if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay. And they do it again, and it's like, if you want to be some... Hallelujah! My sister and I, to this day, shout out to TS, we miss you. Hello, TS. Yeah. My God, TS and I will literally call each other up. Hallelujah! or it's like she's like, oh, we're going to Cheesecake Factory. Hallelujah! Like, it's the way, just the placement and the fact that that song is not really a gospel song. But bring him to where you are. Bring him to where you are.
Just hate me. That is,
it's so fun, but it's inspirational. So start off with Awkward Black Girl. Then, because of how the success of that, which I read an article, she was just like, yeah, I didn't study this shit. I just knew I was a writer, knew I wanted to put something together. I asked some friends, I figured it out, and I just made it and was like, kept making it, which is a really great, important lesson for us.
And it's not easy to do, I'm sure.
Oh my God. Because if everyone's still working and work schedules.
As a Black girl / woman.
Yeah, I am a creative person. I have been a creative person my entire life, which I think explains a lot. And I think, and we'll get to this a little later on, but, starting your own thing is important. And the passion you have behind it and the reward behind your blood, sweat, and tears is really a big deal. So after Awkward Black Girl fucking came Insecure, which I cannot live without. I watch every Sunday. I got a boyfriend. He and I sit and dissect it.
My husband and I watch it as well together.
I'm addicted to it. Of course, she had big girl things agwan all year long.
Yes.
So we couldn't do, we had to just be patient. But when I tell you I am front, center, present, and accounted for season 4.
I think so, right?
Wait, let me make sure. I don't want to.
It's either 3 or 4.
It needs to either be 3 or 4. And, I know for her, it's because she's not that much older for us. I know for her, it's kind of like, man, I'm just out. I'm just a girl who, created her dream and, started that shit. But
4.
So, season 4, wonderful. So, I'm president and accountant for season 4. I know that for her, it might be. I haven't talked to her personally, but I know for her, it has to be a humbling experience that people that are of her age or, I guess, not peers means that you actually physically talk, but people who are within the same age of you that are doing the same things look up to her. Because it's like, if all it means that I can just do it and not be afraid about it. Even the younger generation. I'm sure Marseille Martin was like, Issa Rae, I can get into that. And then was like, I'm about to EP this. And she's another one, right? So
add that to the list.
Yeah. If I didn't make you Marseille Martin, if I did not make you Deputy of the Week in the last couple, I want to personally offer my apologies, girl, because first of all, your acting job on Blackish is superb. Second of all, to be the youngest EP ever of any color, but specifically the fact that you're Black is humongous. And a black girl. If you haven't noticed on this show, that's who we like. That's who we are. That's who we represent. We want people to be, of course, across the board to be represented, but we need the love, okay? Anyway, back to Issa. So not only is she writer, sometimes director, actor, and EP on her own fucking show on HBO, but then she's an executive producer on Black Lady Sketch Show, which is another thing I cannot live without, and is so good. And they always act like, oh, we don't, you know how funny it is, how funny Black women are. It's like, we have to keep ourselves from laughing to keep us from killing everybody. And by killing, I mean crying. But the reason...
No, I mean killing.
Well, there it is. But the reason why I'm bringing Issa Rae up today in particular is because this genius-ass bitch fucked around and created her own record label in partnership to Atlantic Records. So it's like a sub-label, but it's her own, called Radio. Now, for y'all that are not quite as swift with the visuals, the baby's name is Issa Rae. She spells it R-A-E-I-D-O, radio, like the radio you listen to. The name itself is genius. But if you really have been following Issa Rae's career, you would know that in all of her shows, she always has a segment where she rapped.
Yes.
In fact, the last couple of seasons on Insecure, we were missing that because we were waiting for her to kind of rap again because that's kind of what's so funny.
Black girl, you always got it.
Always.
Here's why it's even smarter. Because now she has this show where she features a lot of black artists. And now that she has her own label, she's got her music label so she can feature the artists on her label in her show and keep the money rolling.
Not only that, but I have the name of said artist, who is also our Jet Beauty of the Week, and her name is Timar, and she has a song out now called Kinda Love, and we're going to put the link to their website as well as the link to her, Timar's song, or where you can find her video. We'll also put that in the description box, but Issa Rae is out here, opening all types of doors, doing all types of things, keeping up with all the boys. And we want to say, Issa Rae, girl, with your little pretty self, all that beautiful glowy skin.
Isn't she?
Just tall and pretty and them teeth up. Just girl. Issa Rae, bitch. You are Jet Beauty of the Week. Woo!
We love you, Issa.
We love you. We love you.
We don't know you, but we love you.
That's fine.
You.
I don't know you, but I love you. Remember those commercials? My God. All right, homies. You have anything you want to announce? You want to tell people about your...
You know, I was going to start today. I don't want to say anything.
Okay, we'll wait.
But I was going to start practicing today, but...
Okay, yeah, well, you know, life is happening. Life
exactly.
is coming at you fast. So grab a cheeseburger, not a Snickers.
Ooh, I could use a cheeseburger right now.
Can't you? Oof. We're actually going... I don't think I have anything to announce just yet, but I'm definitely working on cooking some stuff up. But we'll be back.
All right.
This episode of Nobody Asked Me But is brought to you by So Music Entertainment. If you're looking for a professional recording studio to record your music projects, podcasts, voiceovers, or whatever your audio needs are, for a reasonable price, look no further. Visit somusicent.com. That's SOHMUSICENT.com for more details. You can also follow them at SoMusicEnt, which is SOHMUSICENT on Twitter and Instagram for a free consultation. And a special shout out to Mr. Ash, the engineer who mixed and edited our podcast today. And you can follow him at Mr. Ash X, which is MRASHX. They have some of the best engineers here at Soul Recording Studios, so don't wait any longer to make your dream project a reality. Visit somusicent.com or call 929-900-6044 now. And let's get back to our show.
Now that you're turning yourself in for trespassing, after you went to your boss's house and demonstrated a sit-in on his lawn, are you now wondering,
did I fill in my eyebrows?
Are you torn because your job has you so stressed that you only ingest saltines and cocaine, but you finally lost those pesky 10 pounds? Did you quit your Fortune 500 job because you like to live off the generosity of others, but after a week realized this shit is above my fucking pay grade?
Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? Love is good. I can't dig it.
Welcome back. nobody asked me but cut my fucking check. So Natasha came down today and actually had something else planned. Or not planned, but I had another idea. And Natasha comes down and I said, how's your day? And she's like, I'm in a mood. And so I ask her why she's in a mood. And she tells me it's because during her day job, she's a architectural planner. Architectural drafter, which requires her to draw out some stuff. And, of course, true to form, because this is the way of the world, she is upset because she hasn't been properly paid. Mm-hmm. And really was upset about... I haven't
paid my worth.
Ooh, come on now. Snatch these eyebrows right off my face.
I haven't been paid my worth.
I haven't been paid my worth. So then I looked at her and I was like, okay, well, I guess today is the day that we're going to have this discussion. So nobody asked me, but cut my check. So I just want to have a discussion about the pay wage gap as it relates to Black women in particular. Mm-hmm. And the pay wage gap for women of all colors compared to men is trash. But as we keep trying to remind people, and a lot of the things that we are promoting over here is the fact that Black women, of course, are at the end of that totem pole. So we have some facts, we have opinions, we have stories, we have nice and jam-packed for you guys. Mm-hmm. So I just want to get started first with a little bit of the statistics that we have. So the number of Black women who are full-time year-round as of 2019? Or
hold on, let's find the facts. Mm-hmm. Because it may have been, some of the facts were around like 2011, 2013.
Okay, so within we can generalize in the last 6 years, the median amount of Black women who are full-time year-round comes to about 510,697. The median wage of those women is $41,617, which is not a lot of money whatsoever. Whether it's not a lot of money by yourself, but if you
sure as hell isn't a lot of money for a family,
right? If you're a mom that has,
especially a single mom,
correct. If you are a single mom that has 1 to X amount of children, that amount of money is definitely not a lot at all. But it's definitely also not a lot of money if you are just by yourself. Whereas the median wage for white men is $65,987. So there is a
that hurts.
Oof, there is a.
You know what I can do with $20,000?
There is the difference is a $24,370 difference, which means we are paid 63 cents per dollar. So 63% of us are paid less than.
We're paid 63%.
We're paid 63% less than white men. Following that, because of that wage gap, over a 40-year career, Black women stand to lose a total of $946,120. I had to reread that. That is
a big number.
That's a huge number. That is almost $1 million that we lose. I'm going to just read it one more time. Because of the wage gap that I just mentioned, of which we get paid 63% less of our white male counterparts, over a 40-year career, Black women stand to lose $946,120. Which,
considering we're really the ones spending money, and you know I'm going with this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I forgot for you to look that up because that's really important. But if you could just run me a Google of how much the percentage of Black women in their spending power. Those of us that work in a private sector, 8% of us work in that private sector, and then 59% are working in an occupation that don't require a degree. And undergrad wages are lower, and our college debt is, of course, higher. Also, a really, really interesting fact that really knocks me in the face. Black women work more hours than white women and increased work by 18.4%.
I guess on average, African Americans spend $1.2 trillion annually.
How much?
$1.2 trillion annually on like brand name stuff.
Of course. Which is, so it's like we really ain't got the money to spend, no pun intended, because
we represent more than 50% of overall spending in key product categories.
Say that nice and loud one more time.
And we represent more, we as Black people represent more than 50% of the overall spending in key product categories.
Meanwhile, we are way, way down at the bottom as far as how much we're actually making back to support ourselves. And according to that last statistic I just read before Natasha found me that very alarming rate, that Black women work more than hours than white women and increased hours by 18.4%, which is nuts. We're working the hardest. We're spending the most, but we don't have any kind of cushion to kind of keep us afloat. And I, of course, think that's on purpose. If we're talking about college, so like a lot of us that are just getting out of college or just getting into school, 12.4%, I think, of the country.
Yes.
Of the country are Black graduates and between the ages of 22 and 27 as of 2000.
Let's see if it said.
I think it should be as of 2015, maybe. And so 12.4% of us are, I said that whole thing wrong. Kevon, put a marker here. I'm sorry.
Let's find it again. I go to have that one here.
I think it's this. Of the Black graduates overall, 12.4% of us between 22 and 27 are unemployed. Whereas the overall college graduates between 22 and 27, 5% are employed, which means that Blacks are twice as likely not to get hired after they've completed college. Right. So it just goes to show that the facts are just telling us that, first of all, we're underpaid in general. Second of all, we are
undervalued as well.
Undervalued. And then not only that, but not only are we undervalued, but then on top of that, a lot of us can't even get our foot in the door. And it takes us twice as long to find an internship that will eventually move into other things. So taking all of that into consideration, that's just the basic facts of like how being paid works statistically. If we're talking the difference between a creative and a corporate person, that's a whole nother ballgame. Because creatives will essentially make their own price.
Right.
And because people, schools, parents don't consider creative jobs actual jobs, they think it's just a hobby, so you need to be paid as a hobby. When there's a lot of work that goes behind creating content.
A hobby for you.
Right.
This is a career for me.
Correct. So it's like, I'll go DJ someplace, and they'll ask me how much it is. And I tell them the price for 4 hours. And then it actually says it really clear on my website. And lately on my website, I've been kind of just making it like, well, I've been suppressing it because I know I'm just starting out.
A lot. Because I find myself giving in a lot just to not, cause a fight or cause an embarrassment or make it uncomfortable, because you still want to keep doing what you're doing, but you find yourself being walked over a lot of the times because of who you are, the color of your skin, what you got under your pants.
Wow.
Given a lot.
Yeah. Or it's just, I also find myself like asking, do I want to be right, or do I want to be paid?
Right.
And it's like this kind of idea of no money is better. I mean, some money is better than no money.
Right.
Will kind of put us in these ruts because then
and
that's
we will always settle.
Yeah, because it's like, well, at least I'm getting paid.
Right.
And really what it should be is, no, you need to pay me more.
Right.
You
gotta live, so do I.
Right. Those of us that actually like perfected a craft, if we're talking creatively, which Natasha, you're definitely a part of, because again, I can't make.
And it's funny because I've never looked at myself as
Absolutely. If you have to design or draw or write or sing or act or thinking about connections to content or dance or, I don't know, paint or graphic design or environmentally design, those are creative positions. We're not talking like you literally have to make something and then be ready to sell it. Find a way, creative ways for it to be sold. And so I think people think that because creation is subjective and relative, that it doesn't have anything to do with them.
Right. And
that's not true.
And a lot of people don't understand the work that goes into being a creative, but when another creative, quote unquote, is diminishing your work and your value, it stings a little bit more.
Absolutely. Because then they don't want to pay you.
Exactly.
And it's like, but wait, you want to get paid. So do I. And that comes, and creative, I want to also mention party planners. I want to mention, I had another one, a really good one. Party planners, meeting planners, event planners of any kind those are creative jobs. Musicians, of course, are creative jobs. Producers are creative jobs. Music engineers, mixers, those are creative jobs. You have to make it from something.
Yeah. Make something from nothing.
Yeah. And it's like, sure, it looks easy, but you actually need musical talent for some of that. You actually need actual fine art talent for some of the stuff that you do. You know, because then if it's not up to par, it's like, oh well, what am I paying for?
Right.
So you said something. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because you're probably gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say.
No, you start. Go ahead.
No, because I was gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, you said if you don't want to do it,
yes, this is where I was going.
You're going to have to pay someone to do it. That doesn't mean pay me in pennies, my G. It means you need to pay me. And it's like, come stand in my shoes.
Exactly.
Come stand on stage and sing for 3 hours. You do it.
And some people think because you don't have the credentials that they have, that you don't deserve something fair.
I don't want anyone saying that shit like that.
I'm not going extravagant, but I'm being fair. I think I'm being fair.
More than fair. Are you at liberty to discuss the actual terms or no?
I mean, I doubt this person's going to hear it because...
Oh, well then by all means. And if not, we'll deny it. Go ahead. It's not us.
Well, I did work recently for somebody, and we somewhat discussed... We didn't really get into the nitty-gritty of pay, but I submitted what they asked me to do because they needed help with something they explicitly said they didn't want to do, and the person that was doing it for them, this is the key word, doing it for them, bailed on him and just like disappeared. So I was like, sure, I don't mind helping out. Fine. So I spent less than a full day, which is usually like an 8 hour work day. I spent maybe 6 hours working on this project or this, doing the things that he didn't want to do. And I sent him a bill for it. I mean, I sent him 2 bills, one for another project and one for this particular project. And he was fine with the other project, but this particular project, he was like, any particular reason why, like, he was surprised to see it, any particular reason why it was so high. May I ask what you, charge as a rate? And I was like, I charge XYZ as a rate on average, but I charge you X, a little bit less. Few dollars less per hour, and it's going to be about 6 hours to do it. Do you mind if I ask, how much you paid your other guy to do it? And he was like, $25. I was like, 25. I was flabbergasted that somebody's doing something.
So for context, guys, she does drawing, so it's not $25 an hour. $25 total.
Total.
Which we did the work. If you divide that for the amount of time it took her to do it, which is about 6 hours, you said, comes to $4.06. About. What the fuck am I going to do with $4 when I got 3 kids? I don't, but Natasha got 3 kids, a husband, a house, bills. I can't wipe my ass properly with $25. It costs more than that to get fucking toilet paper at Costco.
Exactly.
What am I gonna do with that?
Exactly.
Now, I don't want to toot Natasha's. I don't know if Natasha is comfortable tooting her own horn, but I'm here. She is pre-engineering in high school. That's high school before we even got to fucking college. High school, she was in pre-engineering. College, she went to college for.
I did do some college for drafting and design.
And
then because I was working and I was making good money.
That's fine. So she was attending college for design and drafting. And sometimes, life happens. You have to work.
And I was like, I felt like I knew everything already. And I was helping the class get their work done because they were learning it, something that I already knew. So I was like, what the hell do I need this for?
And so continued to work. And has been working in this business.
And started my own business.
And started her own. We're talking 10, 15 years, aren't we? Not the business itself.
No, I've been doing this for about 13 years.
You have experience at a company?
No, longer than 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I was right. So 15.
No, 15 years.
Yeah.
That's 15
We're
years.
talking 15 years. 15 years in your business. 15 years. You know the shit inside and out.
Time.
That is a long time. You don't look like you've been doing it. Listen, y'all, okay? When we get back to our health episode, and Natasha Stewart is up here giving you glowy skin, snatched waist, a neckline.
A bummy day because of how I
It don't
feel.
even look like a bummy day, okay? A black top and a gray sweatpant is happy clothes to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Looking snatched, glowy, and dipped. Nipped, tucked, trimmed, chopped.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God! Shout out to Luther and Sybil. I remember one time I was passing out flyers for a job that I was doing when I had my internship, which makes sense in high school. But I was passing that shit out,
and that's how I started. Was in high school, internship.
Exactly, and. They were like, what are you doing later? And I was like, oh, yeah, after this, I need to go get my toes, like, clean and chopped. And they were like, what?
Clean and chopped?
That's what I meant. I meant, like, pedicure, but they were like, clean and chopped, girl, huh? So I'm out here literally busting my ass for 15 years. I know what the fuck is up. I know how this shit works. I've worked for other companies. I've been doing it in my own house. My mama does it. I do it for all these people. And for what and not only that, but I'm doing you a favor because the person that you wanted to do bailed on you probably because
you're only paying them
$25. And you got the nerve to think that it's me. What? You have to take some responsibility in that.
And mind you, I went and learned a program that I never used in my life before to accommodate him because he uses this particular program that I had never heard of before, to be honest. And I was like taking the initiative because I really wanted to do this work. And it's both my husband and I that do this work. So we go out together and, you know, do surveys, and then I go back and draw it up. And I've done, like, every project that I've done has gotten better and better. And he has said it to me. He has, unsolicitedly, if that's a word, said your work has exponentially gotten better, you know? And
so I'm
and
literally
every week he's coming to me with another project,
which is another thing.
I'm doing something right.
Listen, that's another thing in your craft. The fact that you are continuously learning.
I try to learn
so that you can expand
every time I go in.
That's the whole point. And it's like, I don't know about anybody else, but I got real tired. It's a struggle, but I got real tired of trying to prove my worth to someone that doesn't even give a fuck about it at all. They literally think it's trash. I remember I worked for a certain place in Englewood, and it was a children's facility. And I really worked hard, and I was right out of grad school. And I remember grad school was such a big... Wait, write it down so you don't forget. Right here. I went there... And I remember I told them that I, had just gotten my master's. I was out, ready to go. Which also, my master's was totally trash because part of their whole spiel was, we're going to find you a big job and all this other stuff. And, you'll be out there and it'll be great. And they did not. They did none of the sort. And it ended up being a huge check that I had to pay for them that I'm still paying off. And so I'm going to forever be annoyed by that. But anyway, they were offering me, they wanted me to be the manager of the whole facility, or the second manager of the whole facility, and possibly one of the party planners. You know that they offered me $21,000 a year?
What?
$21,000 a year. Then, when I told them that I'm worth $30,000, at the least.
At the very least.
And then I told them I'm worth $30,000 at the very least. Mm-hmm. Nothing. They came up to $25,000. Ooh. And then...
Did you say 25 plus 5?
Right. No, at that point, because I feel like... Because I was... Not that I was dumb, but it was like, I'd rather... Look, just, again, the whole idea of... resilience, which has been a theme for the last 3 episodes, and just kind of hold on and push through, also a theme that we've been talking about for the last 3 episodes. It was like, you don't have a job. Your father is down your throat every day. What about your job? Are you looking for a job? What are you doing? You got to be able to contribute in some way, because he's right. Take your job. Take it. I should have really held out for 27, but I took the 25.
And sometimes we, again, caving in.
Right. It made sense at the time because, I don't really, I live at my parents' house and I don't have that many bills. Maybe, it'll at least be something so that I'm not, scoundreling for stuff. And they cursed me out about things that were so minuscule. I didn't order pizza this day. I didn't put up, decorations the way they wanted to another day. And it was just it became a very toxic environment. And then then all of a sudden, I got really, really fucking good at my job. To the point where I would be absent because I had strep throat. Because that was literally...
Elsie, can you please come in?
Oh, they were just... We don't know where this is, and we don't know that, and I don't understand. And everyone the world is crumbling down.
So replaceable, but when, nobody can do what I do.
No one can do what I do. And you know why no one can do what I do? Because my attitude was good. It wasn't just that I was good at my job.
Exactly.
People liked me. And we say a lot of things about, because, we're Black women living in Trump's America, so we face a lot of adversities from all types of races, including our own. So I know I sit on this radio show and talk a lot of shit about what white women in particular or white men in particular do or don't do. But when I tell you, help a friend. Yep. Gotta keep me looking good, even when you can't see me. When I tell you that my overall demeanor across the board, no one wants to deal with any other managers. They only want to talk to me. No, none of the parents want to hear anything else.
And it's because we have to be the happy-go-lucky black person. Have an off day. What?
My God, because and we're not talking an off day because I want to go to the beach, nigga. I cannot speak. I cannot be around other people because I will give them what I got. And you got me out here, and you mad about that, and then on all of those things mixed together, and you don't want to pay me. I'm just supposed to catch a cold, and I mean, it's awful.
Yep.
Don't get us started in what it means for healthcare. It's the life we live, absolutely. But this is why we're having this conversation. So tell us your story about.
Because I worked for. Okay, so I had two bosses essentially. One that was constantly in the office and pretty much ran the day-to-day stuff, and then I guess a partner in the company, but he did his own thing. I don't know what it was that he did. He, procured clients every so often.
Solicited, just because the girl likes to dress fancy on the street corner. He was like the boss that I dealt with day to day. He went away for vacation, and apparently the other boss was supposed to come in and talk to me about giving me a raise months ago, and never came in. And I know why he didn't come in to talk to me, because he didn't know who I was. Ooh.
And every time he would come into the office, there was two black women in the office, me and somebody else. Hey, Juliet. And would constantly mix the two of us up, and we look nothing alike. But we loved each other like sisters.
That's cute.
And we still do.
That's sweet.
But could not tell us apart. Come to me, hey, Juliet. I'm not Juliet.
I'm Natasha.
I am not Juliet. And was supposed to come to me and talk to me about giving. And then months later, my boss comes back from vacation. I mean, he was actually gone for a while because he was in Africa. But anyway. He came back. He was like, "Oh yeah, so and so was supposed to talk to you about giving you a raise a few months ago. They did it." I was like, "No, I've been making the same $8 I've made since I started here."
$8.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I tell you? I was working for a company.
Wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So he was like, "Oh yeah, we'll bump your pay and give you back pay for when you should have gotten it." Did I get that back pay? Of course not.
Trash. There's two things. So one, when I used to work at that facility, I was just mentioning, you had to sell when it was time for them to start a new semester. You had to sell all the packages. You gotta, put all the stuff in place.
Right.
And they kept saying that the business itself, because it's a franchise, so this particular franchise needs the money, and we're gonna get the money for sales. So sell your party packages, sell the classes, whatever. I sold like 6 G's worth. And they didn't give me a one thing's worth of commission. And they were like, because at least 10% of that, if you got $1,000 for the $6,000, 10% is $600. Cool. But if you got, a little more for that, I'll take it. Because they make you, you get paid. I had to fight for being paid hourly and then eventually being paid salary. And then on top of that, the people who weren't being paid hourly were getting just paid per class they were doing. So if I'm there from 9 to 2 and I only got 4 classes and it's $10 a class, instead of getting $10 from 9 to 2, I'm only getting $40.
What am I going to do with $40?
What am I going to do with that? That's how, for a lot of the people that I work with, that's how much it costs to get there.
Because you got to deal with to be
over 10. Over 10.
You should be paid depending, per child times 2.
And more if the niggas is sick. Because
Seriously.
I can't tell you how many times I got sneezed in my mouth. And the babies can't really get it, but that's like that is a hazardous situation, and you don't supply health insurance, but still I'm here. But this is what we're talking about how you need to cut me my check.
Yes.
Anyone who's working with children needs to be making.
Anybody who's working, period,
needs to be making at minimum $30 an hour at this point. even the people...
Because the cost of living has gone up, but
So
the
high.
minimum wage has remained the same. How are we expected to survive on little to no money?
And then people get mad about, like, fast food workers because they want to get paid $17 an hour. You're not paying attention to the fact that some of those people, that is their only way of making an actual living without having... Because if they could make a living...
And they're doing something you don't
want to do. You don't want to do that. And because people make mistakes and they're honest about mistakes, you got the nerve to go back there and scream in their faces like, this is your job. I don't understand. What? You can't do that. You don't have the wherewithal to do some shit like that just because, A, don't be an asshole, but B, people make mistakes, and C, and then turn around like, oh, $17
I would make working in a fast food chain.
$17 an hour, huh?
Food, like order after order after order after order. Of course, you're bound to make a mistake. We all make mistakes.
Exactly, and then to be that kind of condescending, like, oh, this is what $17 an hour gets you. It's so trash because it's like
it still gets you nothing. How about that?
It still gets you nothing after all of that because don't let you have to actually have some place to stay and then have bills to pay and then try to get yourself, up and running and eat. God forbid,
You're not up and running nowhere.
You're not up and running no place. And so it's just overall really disheartening. And as I was saying, as a creative, if I tell you me coming to sing someplace or me coming to DJ someplace is $200, unless I grant it to you, don't ask me, oh, is it that serious because it's No. That's how much the price is. If you want me to come and do something for you, it should be DJing for $200 when I got all of that equipment that I have to pick up and set down.
And
that is
paid for.
That is expensive, that I use on a regular basis. That alone, between my MacBook, my Serato that is a subscription, the actual DJ board, the case that it comes in, the cords that come, the stand, the speakers, the speaker stand, the travel,
the insurance on that vehicle,
the insurance on my vehicle. If we wanted to add it up with all the shit that y'all niggas owe me, we'd be talking $1,500, which a lot of DJs are making, and that's great. I do take into consideration that I'm just starting out, and so I'm in the beginning of my career.
Right.
And that's fine.
Still, you are worth something.
But if I tell you it's $200, because that's what it is right now, and the price is about to go up. But if it's
yeah, girl.
If I tell you it's $200, and I am not even thinking about all the things that come with the stuff that I just mentioned, and I just tell you, it's $200 for the night, you deserve to get cursed out. If the next thing out of your mouth is it that deep? Is it that?
Play your iPod on your little Bose speaker.
Because for all that, you can just do that. You don't need me. And that same thing with singing. People think singing means that, it's not even that deep. You just using your voice. But I bet you if you want Beyonce to come sing for you, you pay out the pocket. I remember I was watching a Sweet 16, my Super Sweet 16. Remember that show?
Yeah,
with all of its triflingness?
Of course.
I would watch it and just be like, wow, what a life.
Exactly.
What a life. This girl had a joint Sweet 16 with one of her best friends. And they wanted Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter to come perform at their sorry-ass Sweet 16 birthday party.
I hope she's...
Wait, listen. She was, little pasty Lou Susan was on TV, on the phone, and she's, making her list, checking it twice, hangs up the phone, looks directly in the camera and says...
What she say?
And says... Beyonce wants $500,000 to come play for an hour. I just think that's a little bit ridiculous for a Sweet 16. It is ridiculous for you to ask the Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter to come perform at your little fucking
you want my
petting zoo of a Sweet 16 birthday party. You have to pay for that.
Huh? She should have said $2 million.
Now she would have. If it was that fucking easy for me to call Beyonce Knowles to come perform at my Sweet 16, Do you know I would do nothing else if it was that? If that's it, that's all I got.
One day. Sweet 40, maybe.
No, sweet nothing. Elsie will be 100 years old and will never call Beyonce to come perform for her. I will call Beyonce and ask if I can come perform. Can I come perform for you for free, Beyonce Knowles? Don't do me for free, but please let me come and just touch the hem of your garment.
Can you? I think he would die at that moment. Like, that would be the moment that
My
Elsie's life
God
has come full circle complete. I don't need to live anymore.
Right. Never mind my kids whenever I have them, or my beloved husband, or my family. Beyonce.
And she's wearing a Beyonce shirt right now.
I actually am. I've been really productive today. I had my caffeine. I'm feeling great, which is,
The last episode when we were talking about getting burned.
Oh.
And then the whole situation with the teacher, and you had brought her coffee, and she warned you she gets crazy after. Maybe you shouldn't buy people coffee. Maybe that's the problem.
I'm having a good time, though. The coffee is good for me,
Yes.
at least for
buy
now.
yourself coffee by all means, but don't buy other people
that's
coffee.
just saying, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That other person doesn't do me wrong, though. So I don't know. I just got really excited. I hope it's going away, kind of. Trash. I just can't understand why you think I want to come do anything for you for free. You don't do stuff for free?
Even interns should be paid. I'm an advocate for interns being paid.
Absolutely.
Athletes, high school, college athletes whose likenesses are being used should be paid.
You need to pay them.
And it's mostly minorities.
You need
And you don't
to
wanna
pay them. We are not out here just freelancing, shucking and jiving
You
for
want
your
us at your school
entertainment.
making you the big bucks and you all the wins and you all the trophies, but you don't want to cut me
At
my
the
check.
very least, and then whoever watches college athlete stuff or college athlete stuff, Jesus,
Yes, 'cause we
college
don't watch
sports,
obviously.
right? Athlete stuff. If you guys watch those athlete thingies, if you guys watch college sports and you follow it and you follow the business behind it, someone let me know. But at the very least, I should be coming to school for free. I should be able to leave school and not have no school
debt. You want
debt.
to take my money and make money off of my likeness, but I have to, I have to be the one to struggle.
Why? It's the same thing with our TL. Listen, the reason why, let me tell y'all something about TLC, right? So TLC, I was a large fan of when I was a child.
I had their album way before I probably should have.
Yes, because Ain't Too Proud to Beg is not a song that is appropriate for 5-year-olds.
It is not.
But I was listening to it, and it was great at the time.
Amber was probably one of my first.
And my mom loved it, and she was like, oh, they're a little fresh, but I like it because they were talking about safe sex. But they struggled, and they were literally too cute to boot. And by that, I mean they had concerts out. People were dressing like them. They were making the label tons of money. And I remember watching that story, hearing about it as it was happening as a child. I remember my cousin was in the music business and got signed. And that was a whole thing about his bread and the things that, my mom dealt with as an up-and-coming artist or up-and-coming theater person in her time and what that meant for her. And even now, as my parents are working musicians along with everything else, and now my sister and I are doing essentially the same things, you get faced with it every single day. The thought behind, you're a product and we're going to make the money off of you, and then that's it. And they're driving away with RAV4s.
And they always use the excuse that, we bought this for you, we did that for you, so you have to pay it back to the company.
No. My dream in high school was to be the person that creates a record label or a production label that sticks true to paying people what they're worth. And if I can't pay people what they are worth, that means that I can't hire them. And that I'd rather someone say to me, you are worth this much. I cannot pay you this much right this second. And work something out from there, albeit, please let me recommend you to someplace that can pay you, or let's part amicably. That's it. There's no reason why TLC don't have the money that they should have.
Right.
And I don't know what they've got going on now, and, I don't need Pebbles
They
coming
were
after
one
me.
of the biggest
Ever.
pop/R&B groups
Ever.
ever.
And we are talking all the money. And when they ratted them out on that last Grammys interview, whew, and they're like, we don't have any money. We're broke. And it just is, it's impact. Because, of course, it's not just...
And they dress them up to look pretty and rich at the award shows, but they ain't got no... Ain't that a blip?
Like, it's cute that I look cute. And sure, I sold this magazine.
It's like literally they're prostituting them.
Yeah. It's that's another story. But
Another episode.
But, like, you can't act like that. You want to... And I go back to the same thing. You want to get paid, right? Mm-hmm. I want to get paid the same way you want to get paid. Mm-hmm. And so, across the board, guys, Black women do a lot. And I don't really feel like we're asking for much of anything, but aside from respect, general treatment, and general just overall stuff. Mm-hmm. And Black trans women, too. I don't say it enough, but I love y'all. I see y'all, and y'all go through a lot more of the struggles, if not worse, than the stuff that we go through as well, especially when it comes to being paid, especially when it comes to even being hired. Right. And I do want to acknowledge that sometimes we as Black women don't see that privilege of actually being able to get into those doors where
it's tough because they already only want one or two of us in
right.
the room.
Yeah.
Let alone somebody who's a minority and a transgender minority, and it's
a mess.
You know, it's a lot.
And so, you know, I did not have those statistics on you guys today, but you guys are part of this fight, as much part of this fight as we are. And, you know, Black women are still out here trying to make sure we have rights, and we're still trying to make sure we open doors for others. And so if no one else has said it, we here stand with you, and we include you in our struggles. And we know that this is not just a Black women thing. And we also know that this is a women's thing overall. Women in general need to be paid. But there is something particularly disturbing to white men, to white gay men, white cisgender men, or whatever, or people who are not Black. There's something really uncomfortable, really disturbing, really unsettling about smart, capable, nice, creative, fun. Did I say smart already?
Yes.
Smart again.
Really smart.
Black cisgendered women and Black trans women. And we're just not, you know, no one could give a shit less what we're doing. So after we got all that off our chest, we're going to take a break. This episode of Nobody Asked Me But is brought to you by So Music Entertainment. If you're looking for a professional recording studio to record your music projects, podcasts, voiceovers, or whatever your audio needs are, for a reasonable price, look no further. Visit somusicent.com. That's SOHMUSICENT.com for more details. You can also follow them at SoMusicEnt, which is SOHMUSICENT on Twitter and Instagram for a free consultation. And a special shout out to Mr. Ash, the engineer who mixed and edited our podcast today. And you can follow him at Mr. Ash X, which is MRASHX. They have some of the best engineers here at Soul Recording Studios, so don't wait any longer to make your dream project a reality. Visit somusicent.com or call 929-900-6044 now. And let's get back to our show. All right, welcome back to Nobody Asked Me But. So it is now time for our Black nostalgia. And today, we are...
It's Janet!
Everyone beats me to it! Janet Jackson is our Black nostalgia for today. And so when she came out with Control, and I'm a child, so Control I think came out when I was 1. So yeah, so like right, exactly. So I of course have all these memories of Janet Jackson's videos as a child, but if we're talking about like when I really got into it, I would say it was like middle school when I got the Design of the Decade CD.
For me, it was Rhythm Nation.
Ooh.
It still is ever. I can go now, like, and just listen to it through and through.
Ooh, that's a good one. I have to say, for me, Velvet Rope is high up on the line. But what album is That's the Way Love Goes? Is that Velvet Rope? Let's find out. I think it is.
A little research while we're here.
Yeah, well, right? You know, you would think that we were people that, you know, with all the vibrato we got, that we sat and, you know, today we did do some research, but it's just like, you know, be prepared, Elsie.
You can't expect everything out of us these days.
Okay?
Come on, give us a break.
Gosh. That's how you know we're real. We come with it right in the moment. It's on, oh, yes. So, Janet Jackson's 1993 album, is that 1993? Yeah. Janet has some of my favorite jams on it. That's the Way Love Goes. That's If.
Which album is it?
Janet. It's the one when she's black and white.
Yes.
And she's, let me see. Let me see if I can pull up.
And she's got her boobies cupped by some man's hand.
Yes, child. Ooh, yes. You know, I like that. And she has, so the singles from that album, That's the Way Love Goes, If, again, Because of Love, Anytime, Any Place, You Want This, Whoops Now, and What I'll Do. That's the Way Love Goes was an immediate yes for me. Immediate yes. From her hair and like the hair complexion combination with the little root at the top and then this black and white two-piece thing that, of course, became a staple because I love the duality now that I'm realizing it of I can be sweet and sensual and sexy and it's cute, but at the same time, I'm also edgy and sexy and I will cut your throat. And be clear about that. Because the If video, Natasha Stewart, that if I was your woman, the things I do you, but I'm not, so I can and I won't. But if I was your girl, I need that. Boom, 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 boom. That choreography, that breakdown, it gets me every time. Also off that particular album is Anytime, Any Place, which, listen, okay, this is an adult show for adults, and if you play that song, it is a high chance that you will end up pregnant.
With 3 kids.
Oops. Oh, God. Also, that's when I heard from a friend today, and she said you were in town. That's all that, with that fine man from A Different World who played the... Just Shy of Hotep nigga. It's Freddie's boyfriend.
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Gary somebody. But he played that and, you know, he was in that video and that video was amazing. It just was, that album's very good. But also, the Velvet Rope, first of all, let's get into but you don't know what you've got till it's gone. You know, then we get the dream about us together again, baby.
Oh, yes.
I want me together again, 'cause everywhere I go, every smile I see, I know you are there, smiling back at me. Yeah, you know, Britney could never. And then, of course, never. That's where you got it from. You got it from Janet. Also, I Get Lonely.
I get...
Boom, boom.
Oh, my
boom, boom,
God, Janet.
Boom, boom.
All right, I'm going to listen to Janet.
For real. Today's Janet Day. Yes. And that's like that's like the one of the few times where I was like, okay, a floppy brimmed fedora is acceptable. And then, of course, at the end, it's like you're watching this whole video and all of a sudden she just takes her top off and it's just bra. And it's like, you better show them boobs, girl. Tell us about it. And that's really cute. And of course, I loved Go Deep. Go Deep. We go deep and we don't get no sleep 'cause we be up all night into the early light. I need to make a note. Definitely going to be playing that in the next spin.
Elsie,
oh my God. Good shit. Yeah, no, I need to write that down. Go Deep, Janet Jackson. Because
add these to my playlist.
That shit.
No.
And you know, I feel like Janet doesn't particularly get the flowers that she deserves always.
It's a common theme.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like she's not getting, like, she don't get half as much praise as Madonna. But for me, it's like she has all the makings. All For You is cute too. What's on All For You? Let's see. Oh, this is T. Oh man, these are all T.S.'s songs that I know I'm gonna mention. She's gonna be sad, but it was like, doesn't matter. Oh, you know who else loves the song? I shouted out before.
I love this song.
But
oh my
John
God.
Kashi loves.
Oh my God, I love this
Doesn't
song.
matter if you're friends with you. Doesn't matter what you're independent of you. I'm in love with you. You, nobody but you, baby. Oh my God!
Too nice.
Oh my God! I'm gonna say this next one, which is "It's all for you." If you, which I didn't love when it was out, but now that we're reminiscing, it's cute. It's cute. This was T.S.'s joint. Maybe we'll meet at a bar and buy a fucking car. Maybe we'll meet at a club. We'll fall suddenly in love and tell me I'm the one. And we'll have so much fun. I'll be the girl of your dreams. Baby, alright, bitch, I'm gonna find my way. I gotta get someone to call my love girl, baby. Come on, alright, bitch, go. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't even. Okay. Yeah, then after that, it gets a little, that's just because she has other stuff that she's doing, which is fine. Yeah, all these after that. Later on, when she did that 2008 Feedback, I loved Feedback with that light skin, dark skin, my age, persuasion, thinking like my style, I'm sexy. I like that song. I was definitely enjoying for that. And I also liked the "This can't be good, this can't be good." Now, if you don't know that, you need to get to it, because "Can't Be Good" is actually very cute.
Demita Joe. What's not Demita Joe? I'm just adding everything.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, at this
now.
point, that last one I just did was on
Adding
Discipline, yeah. And then that's it. Also, she was a great actress. So I have a lot of influence from my parents. They're always like, they're a good actress, they're not a good actress. And so, of course, some of that I adopted as well. But she used to be on Good Times. And then when she got to be a little bit older, I believe she's on, God, you guys are going to take my black heart away.
What?
Different Strokes, if I'm not mistaken. Different Strokes is Gary Coleman and Todd Bridges.
No, she was on.
What show is that?
Was she?
Because she was there real quick as his girlfriend, if I'm not mistaken. But she wasn't on Facts of Life. Janet Jackson. Listen to us. Janet Jackson, acting, 80s.
Yeah, it was Different Strokes.
Okay, yeah. So she was the girlfriend on Different Strokes. And then she was also in one of my favorite cult classics, Poetic Justice, which the star of that movie, if we're being completely
the number one
honest,
movie when you type in Janet Jackson, like movies or acting.
it's Poetic Justice. It has to be because it was a major motion picture. The star of that was, of course, Tupac. The second star of that was also Regina King, which we will absolutely get back to. But that movie, it comes on, I'll watch it. I love Poetic Justice. And so Janet Jackson, we went down a nice memory lane. We didn't hit it with the old ones, like Pleasure Principle. Ooh, it's the principle of pleasure. And of course, one of my favorites, which was Control. And I'm on the mind. Control. Control. And now I'm all grown up. That's a cute one. I used to study and look at I Miss You Much. I miss you much. Really miss you much. Yeah, that one has the best choreography, if you ask me.
everything.
That's a good one. No, we can actually stay here for a second. There. That's a good one. What have you done for me lately? Bum ba dum bum bum. Ooh yeah. Or who's that in that nasty car? Nasty boys. Now, fun fact: my first screen name. No, not screen name. My first AOL. No. My first AOL email.
Love Will Never Do Without You is my favorite song on that album.
On the stage and on the bell. Boy, it's you, I can't do without. I don't like lyrics, so I don't know them. Always work it out somehow. Work it out somehow. And this little breakdown right here. Drake said it wouldn't last. They had to prove them wrong. 'Cause I've heard in the past that love will never do without you. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good one. I also like Escapade. We'll have a good time. Escapade. Leave your worries behind. Escapade. Where you can be mine. An escapade. Yeah.
Let's go. Oh,
that's a good one. What else? I just had one.
We did Lonely.
Oh, all right with me.
Yes.
That was my favorite video. Oh my God. And then don't understand why you insist on ways of living such a dangerous life. Ooh, time you stay away, and I just know that you're telling me like boom, ba-da-da-bum. intense guitar line. Oof. Yeah, that album it's everything. It really is everything. It's everything. And this has been 30 years.
Yes, and it still slaps.
It still slaps. Today's Janet Jackson's Fall. Absolutely.
Yes.
We're going to name it Janet Jackson's Fall. That's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else because I'm going to kick myself in the face if I leave the studio. It's like, I should have mentioned this song. She also has a feature with Beanie Man.
Who?
It's
Busta Rhymes.
Oh, nigga. If you feel it, boy, you can feel this feeling all around the world. It's okay. If you feel it, forget everything with everybody. Boy, let's just have a party, me and you. Love that song.
Yes.
I also loved, Gonna make a body wet, wow. Gonna make a body sweet like that, yeah. Not the chord, that's all right. Gonna make your body great. Make you have a dream. What's it gonna be? I love that song.
The video, the visuals.
Oh my, yeah, and listen.
Everyone will talk about how doing nails with nail rings.
Listen.
Watch that video.
Please, okay? Listen, your fave didn't. Never mind could never. They couldn't. They don't have the range of Janet Jackson. Every last one of my faves, Beyonce included, is like Janet.
Ultimate.
Janet.
Ultimate.
Woo! God.
A career that's
I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad if Yeah, even that it's not new now, but that song that she had out, and I think that Tank produced and wrote and like did the backgrounds for Damn Baby. I'll play it for you later. Mm-hmm. But it's very cute. And the choreography is cute. And also she's popping because she literally married somebody and the deal was 5 years, $5 million. So she got
make that money, huh?
and have
by any means.
Have a kid. And she was like, all right, 5 years.
And I was already
we had a kid. Here we are. And it's not that she needed the money, but it's like, well, now we're here.
We had an agreement.
Just in case, for the baby's sake. And I'm thankful. I really am. For me, Janet was first before everybody else. Well, that's not true. I might have been Whitney first. But we'll get into our legends at another date. Yes. But Janet, as far as the revolutionary you see now, Janet was the beginning.
Was doing it first.
So, thank you, Janet, for being our Black nostalgia.
We love you, Janet, even though we don't know you.
We love all the people we don't know and that we're influenced by. We love you so much. Call us and email us if you want to join us. So,
we would never say no.
Never say never. Have you watched Marriage Boot Camp?
I have not.
Oh,
I have been working, so then my eyes have not really been on the TV.
Marriage Boot Camp, the family now has like Aaron Carter and his mama on it. Oh, it's like so good, but I'm also like afraid to watch because it's just like I feel bad.
It's afraid to watch the news. It's frightful.
Yeah, the news is terrible, and one could argue that Marriage Boot Camp is worse, but that's besides the point. His mom got up there talking about, like, he was like, Justin Bieber, I inspired that kid. Oh my God. And she's like, yeah, well, you're no Justin Bieber. And it was just so hurtful. And he is clearly going through a lot with them. Oh, yeah. And I feel bad.
Child stars and the scarring that a lot of them it's actually surprising to see the ones that come out unscathed because so many of them fall victim
and they're unscathed as far as we're concerned. Who knows what kind of things are going on in the back. But yes, for the most part, as far as like just regular sanity, unscathed.
And it a lot of the times has to do with the parents and the kind of background, how they were raised and how the parents treat them before, during, after.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. It's a lot. So I was at church yesterday.
Hallelujah.
And Reverend Lester Taylor, Dr. Reverend Lester Taylor, was a guest preacher at our church at St. Paul Baptist, and it was for Men's Day. Mm-hmm. And he preached an extremely good word. I urge everyone to go look at it if you just Google St. Paul Baptist Church of Montclair, it should come up. And then if you want to look at our last sermon, it's really good. And he said something that stuck with me. And then later on, I went to my one of my mother-in-law's house, and she said something that I think goes in conjunction with what he said. And so he said, deliverance starts with a decision. And I went to her house and told her about the sermon, and she said, yeah, because God only moves if you move. So all the lessons
only helps those who help themselves.
Oof. So all of those lessons, when we talk about creating jobs and having jobs and wanting to be, not necessarily be seen, but wanting to be successful in the things that we do, I just think, I spend a lot of time making jokes because we have to laugh.
Sometimes we're not going to find the things that we want in the places that we expect to get them.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of it comes with trying new things, stepping outside of yourself, and doing new shit. And I'm someone that it's hard for me to do that. If it's like adventurous, like leaving, of course I have my stipulations, which I need to break. But it's like I would rather do something fun than try a new food, if you will.
We gotta work on that, Elsie.
Yeah. Actually, I went to a Greek restaurant the other day for a shout out to James Rouse and his lovely wife, Carissa. They had a vow renewal. And they took everyone to Greek food.
So it was Greek by force.
Yes. And I was complaining the whole ride.
Of course you were. I can just picture it now.
And I just felt really bad because I felt bad. I felt bad because I was like, all right, come on, yo. Like, just be open-minded. And I told them when we sat down, I was like, all right, I'm going to give it. I'm not a fancy eater, but I'm going to try it. And
was it wonderful?
To be fair, I ordered something safe. Okay. I got, essentially a shish kebab with peppers and onions and, a rice.
Okay.
But it was specific to Greek seasoning, Greek culture, and all that, and it was delicious. Of course. And they had these greens there.
Imagine all the other foods out there that you don't try.
Yeah. You and Clifford feel the same way. And so, all that to say is that if you are interested in changing, if you are interested in doing, if you are interested in, what the hell? If you are, if you're interested in moving forward, you have to do some things, and watch the blessings flow. So, I don't really mean for that to be
some
deep.
Things that might make you uncomfortable.
Ooh, godly Jesus.
Stepping out of your comfort zone. Yes. That's a whole nother episode.
Help me, Father. So for that, I bid you with the lesson of the day.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
All right, friends. This is another wonderful episode of Nobody Asked Me, but it was so much fun. Yes. Be sure to follow us on at DeSandies. The way DeSandies is written now is changed. It's now de.sandies, Sandis. And don't forget to follow Tosh, Big Dawg Tash at Deep Dark Melanin, and also TS at King TS, or at T.S.Rose. And we will see you again next week. Time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank God this isn't live, huh?
Okay, we can start whenever.
And welcome back to another. Oh, no. No. That goes in the bloopers. That goes in the bloopers. You ever make black songs out of nothing? like the Proud Family. I'm now bring my mama back. She can make me some snacks.
I do that to them, and I find them doing it to each other too.
That's the way it should be. It's part of our culture. Why don't you love me? Tell me, baby, why don't you love me? When I make me so damn easy to need. Why don't you need me? Tell me, baby, why don't you need me? When I make me so damn easy to need. I've got beauty. I've got heart. I keep my head in them books. I'm sharp. I have to do this whole thing over again. Sorry. Erase. This is also mad high. Okay. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, I have to do that whole shit over again. And also, I feel like my neck is doing this. Can we move this down a little? Thank you. Got fucked up with the words. That's why I shouldn't do things. Any reference to yes? I think she's tingling her hair.
So with the microphone, you don't have to actually talk into the microphone.
Yes, I know you told me. That's why it's like, wait, so that everyone can hear you. I know. It just makes me feel more comfortable in the front. Ooh, perfect. Thank you. Oh,
now I can talk down.
Ooh. Okay. So, I don't know how many minutes we're in.
Not in the room yet. Oh. I think we should just start it over.
Yeah. He'll be okay. Okay.
Now he's in the room.
These goes in the bloopers. These goes in the bloopers. You have to, this whole first part can go. Like, you can just mark that shit red, put it for blue.